It was October 2021 when Jason Scher was having a normal day. He was putting mail into a mailbox when out of nowhere, an unknown person approached him and took his life. This was a premeditated murder. But who was the killer and what could be the possible motive behind this cold-blooded murder? Welcome back to my channel. I don't have many subscribers, but your single comment is a ray of hope for me. After the murder of 33-year-old mailman Jason Scher, police brought in his ex-girlfriend, his 27-year-old Devon Shiner, for questioning. The police believe that Devon is the shooter, but they will treat her as a victim for now.
All right. Thank you. Mind if I shut the door for first?
I don't really care. I want my son. Where is my son?
I'll tell you everything. How about that? You're Devon?
Yes.
Am I pronouncing it right?
Yes.
I'm Steve. You can call me Steve. We gotta kind of step back here a little bit. I gotta tell you some bad news. Your ex-boyfriend, is it? Ex-husband?
I just call him my son's dad.
Son's dead.
We were never married, but
He died today.
what? How? What happened?
Someone shot him in the face.
In the face? Where?
On his postal route.
He was working today? He doesn't.
Yep. Yeah, he was working, and someone came out and shot him.
Just from how she was acting, it already seemed pretty clear Devon had something to do with her ex-boyfriend's shooting.
When did this happen?
12:32 today.
It is 6 o'clock.
I got a lot to tell you, a lot to share with you. I want to tell you that your son is safe right now. But I want to read you your rights just so you know about it. Let you know that we're recording this because we have to. We have to record everything. And just so we don't play any games with you because I don't like to play games with people.
Read me my rights?
Yeah, just to get it out of the way.
For what reason?
Well, it's your son's dad died today, and so police typically look at the butler or the ex or somebody who owes him a lot of money. So we want to at least ask you some questions about him to do our due diligence. I don't think he has a butler, so we got to rule the butler out. So we at least got to ask you some questions about how he died. Maybe you know something about it.
I was at work today.
Okay, perfect. You got a good excuse. Shouldn't be a big deal. But I want to ask you about it. I want to exonerate you if possible, and then move on to the next suspect. Do my job and see, work. I mean, I'm sure you're concerned about his death and you want it investigated fully. You don't want us to sweep anything under the rug.
No, of course not, but
in police investigations, this is like standard 101 stuff. You got to rule out the butler, you got to rule out the ex, you got to rule out the bookie who owes a lot of money to, and start working it. It could just be a random shooting, but we gotta do our due diligence and figure it out. And our cases are reviewed by the DA's office, and they want us to do it right. People have a lot of pressure on us, making sure that we do the right thing. And so I don't want to do anything, because the case is so serious, I don't want to do anything to violate your rights, anything like that. So everyone that
my rights and my son's rights were violated when you took him from school and did not contact me.
Yeah, so that's what I want to talk to you about. So let me read you your rights, just so you know what they are.
The detective read Devon her Miranda rights, meaning anything she says now can be used against her if this goes to court.
I need to see my son.
We need to figure out what's going on and how your baby's father died. So we're not going to let the son go just yet.
Wait, he doesn't need to go, but if he can can I at least see him first?
Right now, no.
Why?
Right now, no. Because we got to figure out if the butler killed the baby daddy's son, or if you killed the baby daddy's son, or if the bookie killed him, or if it's a random person killed him. I don't know who killed him.
I'm not calm.
Yeah.
My son was taken. Nobody told me that anything happened. My son was taken from school by either police, and I was not informed, or by somebody who is not legally allowed to pick him up from school.
The detective explained that whenever one parent is killed, It's standard procedure to protect the child in case the other parent is responsible.
Okay, but then they have my contact information.
Yeah.
So they couldn't have said...
Yeah, you're not listening though. We didn't want them to release the child to you.
Don't release him to me, but nobody even told me his whereabouts.
Well,
I thought he was with his father.
The police escorted him back here, and Rosa was here as well.
Why? She is not his guardian.
No, she's not his guardian.
Okay, then why was she here?
We're not releasing her yet. We want to find out.
So she's with him? She's with my son?
We're all with. She's being interviewed by a detective because we're not sure who she is.
She's my sister.
Child is here. The child is being interviewed by a forensic interviewer.
She should not be interviewed because I didn't give consent for him to be spoken to.
He's a witness, so he doesn't need consent from the parent.
Was he there? Was he in the...
But he's going to tell us about the relationship between you and his father. But
no, I don't understand how this can all happen without me even knowing that anything happened in the first place.
Because we don't release children to abusive husbands that kill their wives.
So you're saying that I'm abusive and I killed his father?
I'm saying that this is police standard practice 101. We don't release children to people we don't know.
I'm not asking you to release him. I am asking why I was not contacted in any sort of form about my child's whereabouts or that there was even an incident.
I don't know about that specifically. I know we wanted to find you and we were trying to track you down.
You could have found me when you picked him up from school because they have my information. I pay for him to go to that school. Yeah. They have that information.
Well, I want to talk to the officer that did that. Like I said, I wasn't there. Okay. Does it surprise you that someone would go up and shoot him?
Yes, it surprises me a lot. I didn't know, I don't know anybody that would want to hurt him.
How was your relationship?
It was never great. I mean, it started out okay, and then we had him, and I mean, it wasn't great. He left us when just 6 months. He moved out, and we tried, I guess, a couple of times to work things out, but it never worked.
Okay. I don't want to get up in your business and all that, but police aren't there every day. Nothing.
No.
Just a bad relationship that didn't take off the ground.
I had filed a restraining order against him back in, I don't know, 2015, 2016 at the end or the beginning of the year. I don't remember. We had an altercation and I asked him to leave my house because he wasn't living there anymore, and he got a little physical while I was holding my son, and he was an infant at the time. And so I filed it to get him to back off a little bit, and when I went to make it permanent, they're like, you know how hard this is going to be, like, if you make it permanent, like, it's going to be really hard to do transitions because he has partial custody and all of this stuff, so that's going to be really hard, like, you understand that, right? Mm-hmm. And so I was a new mom, like, I couldn't do it by myself, and
raising kids is tough.
Yeah, and I was like, I don't, hopefully that won't happen again, and so I didn't make it permanent.
The detective is about to reveal the proof they've got that links Devon to the shooting.
We saw your car in the area of the crime scene. Your car was a Nissan Rogue that is missing the front passenger front hubcap. We got your car on a license plate reader a little while ago with your license plate, and it has that front passenger hubcap missing. Sure enough, in the videos around the crime scene, that car is there with that front passenger bumper or hubcap missing. You said you're at work today, but your scanner goes off before the homicide and turns back on well after the homicide, and they track your scanner that's used at work to your boyfriend's house, AJ. So that's really kind of concerning. And we caught the shooting on one of the Nest doorbell cameras from across the street. So I'm really kind of concerned. I know that you got served just the other day with the child custody order, and you were a little upset about that. So why is your car in the crime scene area? Why are you in that area in your car? And why are you turning off your scanner?
I didn't turn off my scanner.
No, you did.
No, I
The
did not
postal inspectors are here.
turn off my scanner.
Or you didn't go with the scanner. The scanner's at your boyfriend's house, or somewhere in that area, in front of it, or in a bush somewhere in that area. It wasn't with you. Okay, they have a breadcrumb trail and GPS on your scanner.
Yes.
And the postal inspectors were here, and they said, before the homicide, you're not doing anything with the scanner. It's stationary for like 3 hours or more. And it should be mobile because you're working. But it's at your boyfriend's house, and why is your car in the crime scene area?
The officer says Devon had recently been handed custody papers by her ex, and now her car was spotted near the crime scene. At this point, they decide to confront her directly about being involved in the murder.
I think you're a good person, but something's not right here. I think the gig is up. There's something weird going on here. Everything is pointing to you being involved in this shooting. People don't go around just shooting postal people.
I mean, I work for the post office, and I have before, and I have been.
Why are you? What's your involvement in this? Because I think there's a lot more than you're telling us. The video of the shooter looks kind of like you. It's from a distance, but it looks like your height and your build. It doesn't look like AJ's height and build. It doesn't look like Castaneda's height and build. It looks like your build with a black hoodie. Now, we're going to search your house, we're going to search your car, we're going to seize your car. We're going to do a gunshot residue test on you.
Sorry, go ahead.
So we're not going to leave any stone unturned, but we're going to get to the bottom of this. And this is your out to tell me what type of involvement you have, because it's very concerning. Your car being there, you turning your scanner, not bringing your scanner, GPS not moving during the homicide. You're getting served just the other day with custody papers.
I got an email about it saying that they were going to file something.
On like the 11th. You have to serve with some sort of court notice of changing custody something.
Well, I just got an email saying that we were going to have to go to court for it.
Okay. So what's going on here? Are you behind this homicide? Is AJ behind the homicide? We got 2 different cars, it looks like.
Two different cars?
Yeah, it looks like there's a car leaving the scene of the crime. Maybe it's just a witness who saw the shooting and is getting out of there. Maybe it's the shooter. Well, we saw your car in there moments before the shooting. And there can't be that many Nissan Rogues that are 2017 that are missing the front passenger hubcap. So you're involved in this, okay? And I want to know what your involvement is. Did a boyfriend try to tell you that he's going to take care of this? Were you involved in it? Because someone is there doing this. It's not a random shooting. And so the gig is up, okay?
I read on the way here about what happened, and they said that a man shot him.
That's what we originally thought. Yeah. Now we're thinking it could be you. We're thinking it could be maybe your boyfriend. Thank you. That's not the question. That's not the right answer.
What am I supposed to say?
We're trying to get all this evidence together. We're trying to put the pieces together, and I don't think you're being truthful with me. And I want to know why your car's there, why you're not using the scanner, why the scanner was left there. It looks like you're involved in this. So tell me why you're not involved in this. The whole thing about staying at your boyfriend's house for 3 hours doesn't seem very credible to me. So I'm asking you, did you have AJ do something? Do you think AJ was involved in something like this? Do you think
No.
Castaneda? Or if not, maybe it looks like it's you.
Castaneda, I don't.
Your other boyfriend? Castaneda?
Well, I know who that is. I just don't understand how he's.
I don't know, one of your boyfriends. One of your associates. Someone killed your ex. And we want to find out who it is. It seems like you're involved. Your car is there. You left your scanner with GPS back at AJ's house. Your ex, who you said AJ would kill, is now dead.
I've never said that. well,
I don't care. I wasn't there. I'm not. That's what Rosa said, but I don't care. I didn't hear that. That's what Rosa's saying. It could have just been an off the cuff remark. We're gonna do a gunshot test.
It could be her being like, hey.
We're gonna do a gunshot residue test on
What do you mean, A?
No, we're going to do a gunshot residue test on you to see if you have any. And when you fire a gun, all this gunshot powder comes out and it covers your face, your hair, your clothes, your hands. Have you been around any guns lately? Have you been shooting anything lately?
No.
So we do a gunshot residue test. It's going to come back negative.
It better.
Listen,
I feel like
I'm trying to figure out if you did this or if someone else did this. And my bet is you have someone else involved in this, maybe a friend. And so I'm trying to figure out if you talk to me about this, you know.
I understand why I would be a suspect because of who I am related to him,
And your car.
but I don't. There was things in the past that have happened with him and I that I could have gone to court or I could have tried to call the police. I mean, I have and it didn't help, but there's other things that I could have done. Why would I shoot him?
I don't know why people ever shoot people. And I'm not saying you shot him. Maybe someone else shot him. Maybe people just lost their temper. Someone shot him. We know that. Someone shot him 5 times in the face. That's kind of a lot of hatred. They didn't steal anything from him. They didn't have any issue with him. There wasn't a traffic road rage case. Someone shot him because they were really upset with him. They shot him in cold blood. They shot him 5 times and let him bleed to death there. That's someone who knows this guy. And you know him very well. And you know the people who know him very well. And
I don't know the people that know him.
You know AJ, you know Castaneda.
They don't know him.
Your car was there. Okay? Your car was there. So tell me someone borrowed your car.
I was at work on my route, which is not super close to the post office.
Why is your car in Longmont when your scanner is
I don't know. I am on my route working.
Do you work in a mail truck or your personal car?
No, I work in a mail truck.
Okay. So why is your car down here killing your ex?
I don't know. But it
you
sounds
understand
like
why that's so concerning to me.
Yes, I do understand
so did
that.
Borrow your car? Help me out here.
I don't know, but it seems like with all of these things that you're going to be doing that I need to have a lawyer ask for a lawyer, or I don't know.
As soon as Devon asks for a lawyer, the detective is legally required to stop questioning her.
What's happened today? So today's been a stressful day for you, for your child. So I understand that.
I don't think you do.
Well, I can empathize with the fact that it's probably one of the worst days in your life. So
on top of what happened, my child was picked up by the police from school, and I was not contacted.
Okay.
And I know this had nothing to do with you. I
know. I understand. I'm a father. I've got kids myself. That would upset me too. But you know what? We'll make it right. You know what? When mistakes happen, we'll make them right.
I'm not allowed to see my son. Like, doesn't understand what's happened, and he was put in a police car, which he loves police, so I'm sure he was like, hey, this is fun.
Sure.
But he's traumatized. Like, he doesn't know what's going on. He's not allowed to see me. He's not allowed to see his father. His father's not here.
Yeah, how about as soon as we're done, let's make sure that gets scored away. I'm sure he's being taken care of right now. They have folks that would be watching him right now. But I'll make sure you see him after we chit-chat, okay? But let me start off with, how long have you worked up at the Loveland Post Office?
Since the end of June or the beginning of July. I don't remember my exact date.
So, so you were working today, because today's Wednesday. So where do you actually live?
I live in Fort Collins.
In Fort Collins? Do you live by yourself?
Yes, it's just me and my son.
You and your son? Okay. And then tell me about your day. What happened after you checked in? What route did you have today?
I had Route 14, but I'm assuming that you all know that since you checked the scanner.
I haven't personally checked it, so I don't know, honestly. So did you case mail for a while, or how does that work?
Yes, I cased most of my route, and then I cased my route. It took everything to the street, and I started delivering about 10:30.
Okay. So you left the post office around 10:30?
Yes.
Okay. So between 8 and 10:30, you were working,
Yes.
casing your mail.
Yes.
Do you have a lot of packages?
Not today, no.
Okay. So tell me about your day. So you started scanning packages, you started your route, and then what happened?
My guy AJ, he lives on that route, and so since Wednesdays are his day off, and things are very complicated with us, I try to see him on his day off.
Okay. So you stopped by on your route,
Yes.
hang out with him. Did you do that today?
Yes, I do it every Wednesday.
Okay, every Wednesday, that's kind of your normal routine.
Yes.
What time did you get over to his place?
I don't know. I don't know exactly when I got over there.
Okay.
I wasn't really looking at the time. I was ahead of what I normally am for that day.
Police reports say Devon's boyfriend, Andrew Ritchie, helped her plan the killing. On the day it happened, he was tracking Jason's mail route and stayed in contact with Devon the whole time. He's also questioned in the video.
This is down at the scene, the neighborhood of the shooting. You can see the time, 12:06. That's her car. So originally you told us that she was up there at your house with you until 12:15 when you left to go to Hooters. Can you explain that? We're trying to verify Devon's timeline right now. That's the thing.
Yeah. She was not with me.
That's her car, pretty close to where Jason was killed. We got.
Did you drop her off at work? You did that morning? Okay. You dropped her off at the. Okay, I figured you said you didn't want to ask. I did answer questions about where you went that day. So that's why I'm just asking if you dropped her off at work. Okay. So on the morning of the 13th, you dropped her off at the post office. Okay. Did she ever bring her car over to your house after that?
Her car was parked. It was right up the road from my house.
Her car was okay. Her car is parked up the road from your house. You had taken her to work. Okay. So did you have to pick her back up from work afterwards so she could get her car?
Yes.
Okay. I'm asking that just because obviously she needed to figure out a way to get back home after that. Does that make sense?
Cops bring out a photo they got off Andrew's phone, showing Jason on his mail route. Andrew says he was tailing Jason that day, trying to stop Devon from going through with her plan.
That's off your phone. 2 days before this happened. Can you explain that? You're a smart guy. I think you know where we're going with this.
Yeah,
So if you want to give us answers, now's the time to give them to us. These investigations move fast. You know that. We get this data fast. You only get a couple opportunities to give us explanations for what's going on. We're trying to find the truth.
So her and I were talking in the morning when I dropped her off at my house, and I didn't necessarily think too much of it. I thought that we were going to fool around after she got off, and because we've done that in the past. After she had gotten to work, or on her way to work, she had called me and told me that she had decided that that was what she thought needed to happen. And she had told me that she had thought about doing this before.
The phone that she's done is passed. I'm not going to do it, which you found odd, but you still hung up the phone, just told him, hey, look out, and took off.
So when I took her that morning, when I took her to the post office, that's when she told me that that was going to be the day.
Yeah.
And she was never like so specific like that. And she said, I already have everything I need. And I said, what are you talking about? And she said, I have everything I need. I can do it today. She never told me what she had. She never told me what she needed. She didn't tell me any of that stuff. She was like, the way that she was saying it,
Yeah.
it was obvious that it has escalated to be an actual serious problem. And 3 days prior to that is when she signed the petition.
Okay. But you didn't feel like it was serious enough to notify the police, say, hey, she's going to kill this guy. Why didn't you tell
Hindsight's 2020, but I thought I could talk her down again. I talked her down prior to this. I thought I could stop her if I saw her. I just needed to see her. Like, if we were face to face, she's depressed. She's had a lot of depression issues. She sees a therapist about it. But whenever we're face to face, she calms down. I thought if I saw her, I could calm her down and she would do it, like she would snap out of it.
Okay. You were on the phone with her for like 2 hours and 40 minutes while you were down there in the neighborhood. So what are you talking about during that time?
I'm trying to talk her out of it.
You're trying to talk her out of coming down to where you are and killing someone.
I mean, when you put it that way, yes, it wasn't necessarily where I am, because I guess that was, she didn't know I was there. Like, I'm just trying to talk her out of it. But I had a feeling.
But she knew you weren't at your house because she stopped by at your house. So she didn't ask you where you were? What did you tell her when she asked you where you were?
She did ask me where I was.
Okay, what did you tell her?
I told her I was out at lunch with my friends.
Okay. You did think she was going to do it. You went down there to warn him.
Right.
You went down there not just to warn him. You went down there and you waited. If what you're telling me is true, if I'm supposed to believe what you're telling me is true, you're saying that you went all the way, you believed it so much to the extent that you went all the way down to Longmont after you had spent the night with her to go down there and sit and follow a mail truck around for 2 or 3 hours. That's how much you believed it. And you didn't tell anyone else. That's what I'm supposed to believe? So what if I told you that there are people that said that even though you and Jason didn't have a lot of contact together, they, from their understanding, there's tension between you and Jason, specifically because of the situation with Devon. Who said that they feel very personally that you specifically had it out for Jason.
How and why? What's the motive there? What do I stand to benefit from that?
He was with the girl that you're apparently with.
He's not with.
They have a kid together. They spend time together.
They don't spend time together, but I could care less. She also cheated on me with 2 other guys.
Were you scouting out that area for her to come down?
She already knew his route. She already knew his route. She was at his place.
That wasn't my question.
Prior to that.
That wasn't my question.
No, I was not. What I thought.
Why did you go down there to follow him around if you didn't think that's what she was going to do?
She didn't tell me her plan. She knew that I wasn't going to be okay with it. That's not who I am.
And yet you had to go down there and find him and warn him in person because you didn't know what she was going to do.
I didn't originally intend on warning her.
You were just going to follow him for 3 hours like a stalker?
That's how it looks. That wasn't the intention, but yeah.
Because you didn't know that she was going to go do that.
Show up.
So either you did take her seriously or you didn't take her seriously. It's one or the other.
I already told you I took her seriously enough that I stayed on the phone with her and tried to convince her that these are not good options. These are not good ideas and solutions to her problem.
All right, you're under arrest. Go ahead and stand up. Place your hands behind your back.
Is it possible to do that out in the parking lot?
No, stand up for me. We'll figure out what we need to as far as your. Do you have a uniform shirt on underneath this? I took it off already. Okay, now go.
Just like Devon, Andrew was also arrested and charged with first-degree murder. Even though he later admitted to helping her, his confession didn't change the outcome. He still faced the same charge.
Today, nearly 50 mail trucks honor a postal worker that was shot and killed in a Longmont neighborhood. These trucks drove the route that Jason Schaefer had worked. Investigators believe that Jason was shot by his ex-girlfriend in a case of domestic violence. And we've learned that she was recently fired from the Postal Service. Dylan Thomas joins us now from Fort Collins tonight. Dylan, neighbors tell you that police did swarm that suspect's apartment earlier today.
Yeah, I'm told this morning many officers swarmed the Marymount apartment complex where the suspect in this murder, Devon Schreiner, once lived. Residents who wish not to go on camera told CBS 4 they watched as officers went through the apartment, through the trash, and even questioned neighbors at times to see if they knew anything about this case. A 12-page arrest affidavit obtained by CBS 4 gives us a clearer idea as to what led up to Wednesday's tragic murder of a postal worker. Police say the suspected shooter, Devon Schreiner, stalked her ex-lover on his route as a mail carrier. Schreiner, who was just fired from her job at the same post office her ex worked 2 weeks ago, allegedly parked her 2017 Nissan Rogue blocks away from the shooting. Shortly after starting his delivery, residents in the Longmont neighborhood called 911, saying their post office worker had been shot and killed. Surveillance video recorded the sound of 4 shots, followed by a clip of someone running from the scene in a dark hoodie and blue COVID mask. A similar hoodie, a blue mask, and Nissan Rogue were allegedly found to be with Devon Wednesday night, and GPS technology suggested she was in the area of the shooting in Longmont before returning home to this Fort Collins apartment. Thursday morning, with a warrant in hand, police collected evidence in the home, combing through the trash, even questioning neighbors at times. The apartment appeared to be empty and dark, but belongings found outside suggested a kid lived there. And court documents obtained by CBS 4 suggest that kid may be at the center of this entire ordeal. Court documents show that just a few years ago, the victim in this case filed for a restraining order against the suspect, and then just within the last month, the victim had asked for more custody of their child.
Eventually, both Devon and Andrew were found guilty of first-degree murder and sentenced to life behind bars without the chance of parole.